Hello, everybody. I think we're live. We'll see. We'll give it a second. We're going to talk severe weather because, as usual, we have severe storms in the area. Alrighty. So here is actually, first off, let me put us on the radar. I'm sorry, I was putting stuff in so I didn't have to kind of fumble around with that as I was actually kind of in the show here. But we do have severe thunderstorm warnings, a couple of those going around right now. One is for Vernon, and well, that one's Vernon, and the other one's Southern Beauregard Parish. The latest one there is the Vernon Parish one. They actually did report some hail. Let me take that lightning off. Hail of an inch in diameter in DeQuincy, which is just barely out of the area, but hey, we covered DeQuincy. Severe thunderstorms, or severe thunderstorm right here dropping south. This other one spreading toward the north along that outflow boundary. And let's take a look. I noticed a little something. Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of spin in that storm up in the mid levels there, but nothing that jumps out and says, "Hey, there's a tornado on this one" or anything like that. So. Yeah, I think we're just seeing hail and stuff like that. So these are your two warnings right now. Let me go ahead and finish what I was doing. Pull that up. That way I'll have comments. Okay. Hello again. Yes, I'm back. This is what we do. And tomorrow, I think, unfortunately, Tom's going to have to be doing this because it looks like another round of severe storms is possible. So let's go ahead and get through the text on these and just kind of let you know what's going on. Now, that one in Southern Beauregard, that one, it looks like that is barely clipping parts of Southern Beauregard Parish and Northern Calcasieu, but I'll still read off that. That one's a little older. So we're going to go first with the one up here in Vernon Parish. You know, I don't go live for every severe thunderstorm warning, but when they start to get more active like this and we get a couple out there, we definitely try to do that. So the severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Vernon Parish, this includes the south side of Leesville there. This is until 6 p.m. This is at 5:18. There was a severe thunderstorm located near Rose Pine. I saw a comment earlier saying something was rocking and rolling near Rose Pine. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-size hail is possible, and the locations impacted are Leesville, Rose Pine, Fort Johnson, New Lano, and Pickering. And then the other warning, this one's a little bit older. Severe thunderstorm was located over DeQuincy and is nearly stationary. You never want to hear that. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail possible. This could impact DeQuincy, obviously, Ragley, Oretta, and Buhler. That's another one I'm not familiar with. Buhler, Buller. I'm going to get all these before I finish the race. I am going to get all of these town names right. So, not seeing that crazy wind signature that we've seen a couple times out of these storms, like even yesterday. But here is what we are seeing out of this one, 30, 40. Yeah, that's not even worth showing because it's not really showing the accuracy that we would like to reflect here. But down toward DeQuincy, nice little core right there. Another one south of Leesville. I think reflectivity tells us the best story here. So you can see how this one kind of splits north. This one comes down to the south. And now a severe thunderstorm watch in the last 5 seconds has been issued. This is for Sabine Parish. But we saw yesterday, it kind of started that way. It was like Sabine and then Beauregard and Natchitoches. The parishes kind of kept coming on one by one. So should we see this cluster hold together out in Texas, it's possible this gets expanded and extended out toward the east and southeast. And you see more storms developing out west toward Lake Livingston and even beyond that toward just east of College Station, I guess, east of Huntsville. So right now in our area, we have two severe thunderstorm warnings going on, and those are for Southern Beauregard Parish. You can see that storm kind of changing its characteristics there. And then we have another storm that's moving up through Vernon Parish, and this is going to impact Leesville very shortly. Let's take a look at the hail swath. That could tell us a little something here. On both of these, yeah, right over DeQuincy, they had quarters with that. You can see this core is not quite as active. We're not seeing quite the impressive nature that we're seeing down south, but it does look like there is going to potentially be some hail with this as it heads up toward Leesville. The one in DeQuincy, does it look like it's going to drop towards Sulphur? And then, yeah, it kind of does. I think these are going to be changing their characteristics as they move, because these are not your typical storms that we see earlier in the year where it's just kind of a solid mass that's moving. These are going to propagate along that outflow boundary, and that's why I'm pulling up the Lake Charles radar to show you said boundary. There it is. It's kind of pushing south off of these. We have one up to the north that's pushing north. Now, again, you can see gusty winds. You will see gusty wind as this outflow approaches, and behind that we'll get some new development back there. So that is what we're looking at with this storm right here. So I do think we're going to see this as we're seeing now. It's kind of regenerating. We're seeing new development along those fringes that hadn't quite seen it yet, because what it's doing is the outflow pushes in. It's kind of like a convergent boundary there. We have 30-mile-an-hour winds that are coming into maybe no wind at all, and so that's going to help lift things up. And when you have all the instability and that good stuff, well, it combines and we get these thunderstorms to develop. And again, it looked like for a brief little bit there, that one tried to have a little bit of low-level rotation. Let me take a look at the storm relative on this in a loop down here. Yeah, there was a little something trying to get a little cute down there. I don't think hopefully we'll see any sort of reports out of that, but definitely, you can see that happen fairly quickly these times of year. And they're talking about strong downdraft winds, so that could accompany the hail, but that hail is the driving force behind that warning. And it looks like this storm in Leesville might be weakening a little bit. Let me go back up north here. Yeah, it looks a little weaker. It's still a severe thunderstorm warning. I just wanted to jump on. I know a lot of you are hearing some rumbles and seeing those outflow winds and some crazy looking skies. And now that we are here, we do have that severe thunderstorm watch that includes Sabine Parish. So if you wanted to go out and do a little evening fishing, not the best look for you right now. And that severe thunderstorm watch goes until midnight. Hopefully we'll be able to cancel that early. Let's go ahead and take one more quick little tour here. I wanted to show you first off the HRRR model. This is our latest run of this. And I'm going to just go and I'm going to step through this rather than push the button to make it do that. So this model, which hasn't been great lately, has it did show those storms dropping toward Lake Charles. Then we're watching this up to the northwest and just going to see how long that holds together. And if that thing holds together as this is showing, that's why they issued that watch, probably, as we're seeing this latest run, and the last couple before this showed something similar. So this could be a late night threat around Alexandria. Of course, models are not perfect, but that just shows you what this one is showing here, 3 a.m. roughly. So I don't want to lock in too much on that. We can't tell you for sure what's going to happen with these things, but it does give you that general idea that thunderstorms are possible until the early hours of the morning, and we are going to be watching it all closely. Here is your sky cam out of Alexandria looking toward that storm in Leesville, and it looked a little more impressive just a minute ago, so things have just kind of looked cloudy out there. 84 degrees, dew point 75, tons of moisture in the atmosphere, and lots of instability, and that's why we are seeing storms, and some of these are severe. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get on what are we seeing in Colfax? It's going to be that scattered stuff. I mean, so I think we're going to see these storms probably just kind of meander around slowly along these outflow boundaries. This one should move south out of the area. This one could generate some new storms in western Rapides into southern Natchitoches and Sabine Parish. So I'll be watching that and seeing how things move from here. And with all that moisture and instability, that's entirely possible to see these scattered storms. It's just impossible to tell you where exactly they're going to form along the boundary. But this cluster up here in Texas, we can go and take a quick look at the national scan, because that's going to show us a better idea. Let me take these watches and warnings off here. That shows that this thing is trying to get together. Now, this is an example of what happens out here can impact this. If these storms were to become a little more widespread and help to eat away at that instability, we saw yesterday that wasn't an instant impact that it had on those storms that came across Sabine Parish, but it did weaken them as they made their approach toward Alexandria. So any sort of outflow help we can get out of these, hopefully it's just an outflow that's kind of shooting off of some weaker thunderstorms and it helps to take the instability. But I do think we're going to see this thing at least move into our northwestern parishes later this evening into tonight. So stuff to watch right there for sure. And I'll be doing it. Tom will be doing it. It's what we do. All right, I'm going to get on out of here, guys. I'll come back on if we get new warnings or anything like that. I'll show you the warnings before I go. Wrong button, pause it. There's your watch. And there are the current warnings right here for Vernon and parts of southern Beauregard Parish. As usual, give me if you have any storm reports to give, go ahead and comment here with that. I'm not going to start a storm damage thread because I think it would be pretty paltry right now, and that's how we want to keep it. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you hopefully not later, but probably.